Well 41 is about 1.8 kilometres off the main CSR track and was pretty dry and dusty, so we found a little spot not too far away in among the spinifex and the scrub and had a great camp night there. The next morning we put the drone up just to get a look at the surrounding countryside and got some pretty good shots, some quite interesting ones of the spinifex rings from up high and our campsite, which was really good. We thought it was about time we got some group photos, so we stopped on a nice little dune with some obligatory shots. That's the track to the south, and we walked up a little dune. To this survey marker. And morning tea is down there in the trees, just near the turn-off to the Lena Springs. Well 42 was in ruins, so we continued on, crossing Guli Lake. Well 43 was in ruins, and after crossing a whole series of dunes, we got to well 44 and it was also in ruins. We just left well 44, heading to well 45 in the great sandy desert. It's pretty barren, not much shade, a lot of burnt out area. Lots of termite mounds around Pijalinga claypan. Gravity Lakes. Claypan come Gibber Lake. We camped on the edge of Gravity Lakes, tucked in behind a few little trees and bushes, as it was pretty windy until the sun went down, but at least that helped keep the flies at bay a little bit. We are at a little claypan just near the Salt Lake on the way to well 45, I think. Losing track of the wells. Still lots of flies. But a magnificent sunset.
port locks. Just there, and further down, our Swiss friends.
Next morning we had a walk around the area with some pretty decent termite mounds before we headed off towards well 45. Well 45 was another well in ruins, but at least there were some nice gum trees there, so we stopped for a cuppa before heading on to well 46. We headed into well 47, which is about 3.7 kilometres in off the main CSR track, and it was another well in ruins. What none of us want, a slashed tyre sidewall. Anyway, we'll get that wheel off and replace it as it's beyond repair. And lucky, Wombat is carrying 2 spares. As it was getting a bit late and we'd spent some time trying to repair the tyre and ultimately changing it out, we decided to camp the night just near the base of Breadon Hills lookout. After a bit of a windy night, the next morning we decided to head in past Breadon Hills to Breadon Pool and Godfrey Tank to have a look at those things. After a short walk in to Godfrey Tank from the car park, you can see engravings in the rock walls from Alfred Canning and other explorers and drovers from the early days of the track. We head out again past Breadon Hills, heading for well 48 ruins, which is just a short way away. Well 49 had a restored well and really good water, as well as the grave of an old stockman. So anyway, we had a shower here and did some washing of the clothes before heading about 6 k's further up the track, away in some desert oaks to camp for the night, which was a beautiful spot. We had a fire going and sat around that after dinner before heading to bed around 9:15 as it was starting to get a bit cold, but it was really cosy up in the rooftop tent. Next morning we packed up and had a walk around the dunes in the local area before heading off towards Well 50 ruins.
Sandstorm happening. So we left camp 49, past 49. This is barren burned out area. The sand, wind is whipping up the sand. Nice smooth driving.
After leaving Well 51 we continued on and finally came up to Stretch Lagoon, or Lake Stretch, and camped there for the night. Next morning we got up and had a walk around the lagoon, and before we actually made it into Bililuna and the end of our part of the Canning stock route.